All right, what we're going to talk about right now is oil pulling, and we're going to be utilizing ozonated oil for the oil pulling specifically. Now, why do we want to do this? We know that the mouth, honestly, is a place where multiple infections can actually happen, and there's a massive systemic effect if you've done any research on oral health and its correlation to systemic issues within the body, specifically heart-related issues, but even autoimmune conditions. In fact, if you want to learn more about that, definitely look into Dr. Thomas Levy and his research on the direct connections to the oral cavity and systemic health-related conditions. There's a tremendous amount of research out there, so I definitely recommend it. So why do we do oil pulling? Because when we can actually utilize oil pulling just by itself, let's take away the ozone side of it. What you do is you want to put the oil specifically in your mouth, and you want to swish this around for at least 20 minutes. Now, why 20 minutes? Why do you want to take that time? Because what people don't typically realize is that the teeth, the oral cavity is more of like a spongy tubule-like system. It's not just a hard bone-like system. And so what you want to do is when you pull the oil or you swish that around for at least 20 minutes, it allows it to actually absorb and get down into the roots of the actual teeth and into the gingiva areas within the mouth, into the gum cavities, so that you can actually begin to extract a lot of the issues or bacteria or the major, I guess, would say infections that are in there that most of the time you don't even realize. I correlate that specifically to like a cavity. Most of the time you don't realize you have a cavity until you actually go to the dentist and they tell you have a cavity. So you can actually have infections in your mouth and you don't even realize it. So on a day-to-day basis, utilizing oil pulling is going to be very beneficial to be preventative in nature and not allow things to actually show up. But when you can actually take oil and actually implement the ozone in there, then what you're now getting is kind of a supercharged ozonated oil pulling system. So you're getting the benefits of ozone, which can help with everything from vascular health. It can actually help with the anti-pathogenic effects. And honestly, it's going to be a cleansing system for your mouth. So utilizing the ozonated oil, swishing for 20 minutes. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's pretty simple. What you need to do is you just open up the cap. You get a nice spoonful, tablespoon preferably. This is a literal tablespoon. You can actually go get a tablespoon, but you're just going to pour it in there. Nice and easy, just like that. And now you can hear me swishing, and I'm going to do this for 20 minutes. I'll be back. It's been 20 minutes. So now I'm going to spit this out in my kombucha can. If you're at home, you can use your sink, but this is what I had available. So my mouth actually feels really nice. Actually, it tastes kind of like peppermint. So very good, refreshing, and I feel clean. A couple key points that I want to make about oil pulling specifically. Some things that you want to look for when you're actually choosing like an ozonated oil for pulling specifically. You don't want to utilize like an ozonated olive oil that you may be making at home. Number one, there's a very specific process that has to go through so that it actually can stay concentrated within the actual oil, but you want to make sure that it goes through a cold process. If you heat the oil and the ozone combined together, you're actually creating formaldehyde. Nobody wants to put that in their body. That's what they use for dead bodies to preserve them. You do not want that. It is toxic. And so make sure that it goes through a cold process when you're utilizing an ozonated oil for pulling specifically. The other thing that you want to look for is that it's diluted. You do not want a strong, high concentration of ozone within your oil. Why, do you say? Because if you have a high concentration of ozone in your oil and you're swishing around your mouth, it'll actually kill off the healthy biome that's actually in your mouth. And you want to make sure that your body has that symbiotic relationship between the mouth, the gut, everything within your body needs to have a balance. And if you kill things off, you're going to have an adverse reaction to the sense of it's going to create other health issues that you're not really looking for. So knowing that you have a diluted ozonated olive oil, making sure that it's cold pressed or cold processed specifically, those are a couple of very key things that you want to look for when you're getting an ozonated oil for pulling.